Should the Dallas Cowboys extend Dak Prescott and, unlike previous years, not drag their feet and wait around to do so? ESPN has actually pitched this idea, and I'm very much intrigued by it. Before we get to my thoughts, I want to hear from you. Do you want to extend Dak Prescott in, let's say, roughly in a year max, year min? Do you want to extend him? Y for yes, N for no. This will be our pinned comment, by the way, so before we get going, you can head down there and let me know. Y for yes, N for no if you want to extend Dak Prescott. The idea pitched by ESPN, and I think it makes a ton of sense. The quarterback contract market has only gone up. Dak does have 3 more years on his deal in terms of being under contract, one of which comes this year, then 2023, then 2024. Here were the 3 reasons ESPN pitched. This is why it makes sense. Cap management in 2023 in particular. The always rising cost of quarterback contracts. Every position except running back has seen the contract cost rise over the years, and maybe most importantly, the fear of not having a franchise quarterback. I think Todd Archer is spot on with this idea, and I think this is how all NFL teams should really consider handling themselves in terms of an organization. If you have your franchise quarterback, you keep him, and you keep his salary cap hit low, which so far is what the Dallas Cowboys have done. They have kept Dak's contract hit low, low, low every single year. He's counting less than $20 million. Patrick Mahomes, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins are costing upwards of $15 million more than Dak Prescott. 2023, 2024, though, things balloon. And you can, again, restructure Dak, bring down that 2023 cap hit to under $30 million, but it balloons 2024, and it reduces your time and your leverage to get a longer-term deal done with Dak Prescott. The whole point of having a franchise quarterback is that it makes you a contender, which when Dak has been healthy, the Cowboys have been every single year. Their worst year is 500, and that's been the case since dating back to before Romo even. I do not want Dak Prescott to have a huge cap hit. I think I speak for every single Cowboys fan when I say I don't want to pay my quarterback a bunch of money on the salary cap. The nice part is you don't have to. The salary cap is malleable. It's manipulable. It is able to be adjusted to fit your preferences. You don't have to pay Dak a bunch of money until he's off your team, in theory, with retirement. And if you do that, it allows you to be more aggressive and build a better roster around your current team. So the question of the day, do you want to extend Dak? If you haven't already answered, go do it at the pinned comment. The ad break is coming here on YouTube, so take advantage of it. If the ad comes on YouTube, while it plays, type in Y for yes or N for no. The highest paid quarterbacks per year is very different than when Dak Prescott signed. And this is what I screamed and screamed and screamed at the top of my lungs to everyone that would listen to me when the Cowboys signed Dak and when they dragged their feet. If you had paid Dak Prescott a year earlier, he wouldn't even be a top 10 highest paid quarterback right now. But you dragged your feet. And now the market has changed again. Dak is now tied for 7th behind Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Derek Carr, guys that have not been as good in the NFL or have been about the same as Dak Prescott in their time as NFL quarterbacks. Now the guaranteed number has really changed thanks to Deshaun Watson, Massage Boy himself, somehow getting a fully guaranteed deal. Having not played football for a year was really weird, and the Browns were desperate. I get it. Dak's behind Matthew Stafford, behind Josh Allen. Kyler Murray got a huge guaranteed contract. And guess what? That's just the beginning. We're not done seeing this quarterback market get reset. Some notable QBs who are due for new deals. I'll mention Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins first. I doubt they get that same amount of money, but they're solid players, and they could command Derek Carr-ish money, which is still more than what Dak Prescott makes right now. In a year, you might not see Dak in the top 10 at all. That seems noteworthy. And most importantly, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow, once those guys get paid, they could all surpass the $50 million range. It's not that outlandish, or at least the last guy might surpass. If, let's say, Herbert gets 47 in no particular order, Wilson gets 48, Lamar gets 49, Burrow could get 50. It's not that outlandish that the quarterback market could have increased that much in the short time Dak Prescott has had a new deal. Now, Herbert and Burrow can't sign until next year, which gives you some time to beat the market. The Cowboys' issue has been they don't want to reset the market. But what ends up happening, happened with Tank Lawrence, happened with Zeke Elliott, happened with Dak Prescott, is they let the market set them. And then they cave. And they end up costing salary cap space. So with that in mind, what is the most that you would pay Dak Prescott per year? It's above $46.1 million now. That's what Kyler Murray makes. And Dak's a better quarterback right now than Kyler Murray. That could change in a year or two if Murray takes a step forward. But the Cardinals put in a classroom clause for Murray. That's a huge red flag. I'll tell you what, that is not a concern the Cowboys have at all with Dak Prescott. Now, the longer you wait for a new deal, the more expensive it becomes. Unless Dak says, you know what, I'll take less, as long as you put a clause in that says you'll spend to the limit, which they'll never do, of course. The longer you wait on a contract, the more expensive it is, especially at quarterback. Because the Cowboys hurt themselves last time. The Commanders are out here trading for Carson Wentz. If Dak ever hit free agency, they would throw all of the money at him. If the Colts have Matt Ryan retire, there's a long list of teams. Look how desperate the Browns were for Massage Boy Deshaun Watson. Like, they threw money at him to get him to come. The Cowboys hurt themselves last time by waiting. The salary cap is going to go up significantly. If Stephen Jones sits up there and says, oh, well, you know, we got the pie and we got to pay Lamb and Diggs and Parsons, cool, that's all fine. You will be able to afford all of them with ease. Don't let the Cowboys try to sell you on, well, we can't do anything because our quarterback's so expensive. That is a self-imposed limit if they choose to make that argument. Now, we have the best Cowboys camp coverage here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't miss out on any of that coverage. If you're watching on YouTube, click the big red button. If you're watching on Rumble, click the big green button instead. Now, Dak Prescott was recently asked about the contracts and whatnot here. I told you guys that I wasn't paying attention much when mine was going on, so damn sure not paying attention to the other guys, i.e. the Lamars and the Kylers and Rodgers, etc. Happy for all of them. Good for the league. I'm sure it will just continue to go that way. And Dak's right. Dak's deal is not going to be cheap. Whoever it is, hopefully the Cowboys, of course, next time he's up for a contract, his agent, Todd France, who wants to get his clients the most money possible, he's not going to settle and do less. And I can already see the Cowboys saying, well, what if we just did $40 million again? And France goes, ha, 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 funny, let's make a real offer here. You can keep Dak's cap hit low by manipulating the salary cap, which is something the Cowboys need to do while they have a young franchise quarterback. And that's what Dak Prescott is, to be clear. Yes, we all want better playoff success. But look at the market. Kyler Murray can't win football games once the new COD comes out, and he's getting paid $46 million plus a year. Deshaun Watson can't receive massages from outside the organization, and he's making $46 million a year. Derek Carr got $40 million. The market value for a top 10 quarterback only goes up. And that's what I think Dak Prescott is. Whether it's 7, 8, 9, or frankly, I have 11 top 10 quarterbacks, include Lamar Jackson in that conversation. He's your franchise guy. So we'll go more in depth on my appreciation and hopeful growth coming for Dak Prescott. But I want you guys to rank Dak among all NFL quarterbacks. Let me know right now in the comments. Kind of like I mentioned, Dak is in the top 10 range for me. Now, that could be 7, that could be 8, that could even be 11. He's in that tier with guys like a Herbert, a Burrow, a Stafford. He's not in the same tier of a Mahomes, of a Josh Allen, of an Aaron Rodgers. That's just not, which those guys, of course, are unicorns. They're tough to find. And all of the metrics agree with that. The only metrics that don't agree with Dak being a premier franchise guy is, Johnny Tryhard with his eye test, and his eye test turns out he's blind. Like if your eye test says, hey, this is something I feel, and everything disagrees with it, it's probably your eye test there. He is the guy for the Cowboys. Define the guy however you want. Franchise quarterback, top 10, top 15, win a title with. He's in the same tier as Tony Romo was for me. And I think that's a good thing. Look, the Cowboys didn't win the title with Romo. I get that. Dez still caught it for the record, but it's okay. They gave yourself a chance. Your coaching staff maybe wasn't doing its best job. Your front office has issues. The least of my concerns right now, beyond Micah Parsons, is the quarterback. And that's important to maintain because it gives you a shot every single year. It is not an accident that when the Cowboys have had a healthy quarterback since, I think, the year before Romo, so like 2006 or something, they haven't had a losing season. I'll double check my math on that one. But they have not had a losing season with a healthy quarterback. Think about that for a second. That is unheard of, even with the very disappointing actual playoff results. The last time the Cowboys had a healthy quarterback, their starter, quote unquote, and didn't win at least 50% of their games was 2004. That's a very long time and a very successful career with your quarterback in charge. That means your quarterback's playing pretty well. And there are other reasons why you should try to adjust your offense and defense and let things build around your quarterback. The alternative is a massive rebuild. I know I'm not that old, but I remember the end of the Aikman era, if we're being honest. The Chad Hutchinson, the Quincy Carter, the Vinny Testaverde, the Drew Henson era, which, by the way, that was 5 years. And it does not feel like 5 years then. That felt like a decade. It was only 5 years, though, and the Cowboys lucked into Tony Romo. They lucked into Dak Prescott. Remember, they wanted to take Paxton Lynch and Connor Cook, who are both already out of the NFL. Who knows if you pass on Dak Prescott, if you say, we're going to rebuild, who knows how long that could take? You could be the new Browns. You could become the Lions, the older Bengals. That's a risk when I have a top 10 quarterback that I don't see fit to take. So yes, probably after this year, one of my big priorities, extend Dak Prescott. As long as he plays like he has throughout his entire career, he's the quarterback you want to keep around, and then figure out the rest afterward.